me ask you, are you over-compressing your audio? If you were, would you even know? Chances are it's just fine, and chances are not many people are going to notice until they hear audio that has very good compression on it. If you're not sure about compression, check out my BITTLE MCOM channel. I do a whole series on compression, and there's a special hack on there to get perfect vocal dialogue compression each and every time. It's super easy. Check those out. I'll put a link in the description. But just so you know what I'm talking about, I have very moderate to mild compression on the dialogue that I'm speaking right now. The way I figure my compression, just because I know my studio and the general tone of my speaking voice, my input levels are usually negative 22 to negative 12 dB. And from there, I put a compressor on that's usually negative 18 on the threshold, 3-to-1 ratio, 0 on the attack, and 100 on the release. And then I get compression like this. It gives me a very nice, healthy, dynamic range. Sometimes you have other people's audio that comes in for your podcast or radio show or whatever you're going to do, and you have to figure out how to compress theirs so it sounds good along with yours. So basically, if you want to learn how to do compression, check it out there. But I need you to understand how to do it before you start asking me to listen to your podcasts or to your radio shows, because sometimes it's hard to listen to those. And I don't mean to be harsh, but your compression beat me to it because it's way over compressed. So for this next string of dialogue starting right now, I'm going to overcompress the audio. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to jack the threshold up and put it at negative 30. The input is going to be the same. The ratio is also going to go up to 5-to-1. And I'm going to match the overall volume through my match loudness panel in Adobe Audition. You can find out how to use all those tools on my other channel. So now, this is back to normal compression. So you can definitely hear the difference. One kind of sounded like you were in a submarine. And then this one sounds like you're just in the room. Make sure you understand compression and make sure you're not using a catch-all for each and every project that you're doing, because a lot of times projects are different. Just like I said, I know my studio, I know my voice, I know what my input levels are going to be at, so I use kind of a general setting on my compressor. But I don't always use it. If something goes awry or something's different, or I have to be way more animated in what I'm delivering, I change it. And you need to make sure you're doing that too, because if you're not, people are going to get fatigued and they're going to get tired of listening to it. It's going to be hard to listen to an overcompressed piece of audio for an extended period of time. So if you're doing a podcast and it runs 30 minutes, 45 minutes, or an hour long or whatever, they're not going to want to hear something that sounds like this. They'd rather it sound more like this, and it's much more pleasing to the ear. But that's it. Maybe you're not making that mistake. I feel like if you would have clicked on this video, you might have been, or you weren't sure about it. So double check all that stuff. And then after you figured out your compression, feel free to send me your podcast. I would love to listen to them.